You ever come home to your own house and get accused of breaking in by your HOA president? Yeah, that happened. Let me back up a sec, because this story is about to get so wild you'll be shaking your head right along with me. Picture this, me bone-tired from 3 days on the road, just wanting to collapse on my couch, crack open a beer, and pretend adulthood isn't as exhausting as it actually is. But when I walk up to my front door, something's off. Porch lights on doors cracked just an inch, like somebody couldn't be bothered to close it right. And there's a sound running water coming from inside my supposedly empty house. I pause, hand tight on my keys, every instinct buzzing. I live alone. Nobody's supposed to be in there, and now I'm thinking, what did I leave the faucet on for 3 days? That's when I notice the air. It smells like someone else's expensive perfume. There's music, laughter, and right then every single hair on my arm stands up. I step inside, slow flashlight on phone in my other hand just in case, bathroom doors wide open, towels. I don't own lipstick on a wine glass, the works. The place isn't ransacked. It's staged like a magazine photo shoot for suburban crime scene, but make it fancy. I creep forward, phone recording now, and what do I see? 6 strangers. Well, not entirely strangers. 3 women in dresses, 2 men in slacks, all standing around my coffee table like they own the place. Cheese crackers, the good crystal, even the snacks I've been saving for company. They're just chatting about property values like it's Tuesday book club. I clear my throat louder than I meant to, and the whole room stops. Heads turn, jaws slack. The woman closest, Karen Mitchell, HOA president, with that smile she gives out like Halloween candy, but never means she tilts her head and says, "Oh goodness, you're back early. We thought you'd be gone until Friday." Like that makes any of this less crazy. She's waving around the room, telling me they're just having a small HOA board meeting to discuss landscaping proposals, and my house was perfect for it. Says they thought it was empty, so why not? I'm standing there half expecting to wake up or get punked, and I say, "You broke into my house to hold a meeting." She shrugs, all fake sweet, and says, "Broke in is such a harsh word. The HOA has certain community access provisions, and we did try calling your cell, but it went to voicemail. We simply used the spare key from the maintenance company to ensure everything was secure. Honestly, we're doing you a favor. I nearly dropped my phone. That spare key only for emergencies and only if I put it in writing. My phone empty. No calls, no voicemails. I check right in front of her and show her, but Karen just stands there so smug, like she's never been called out in her life. The rest of the board starts fidgeting, but nobody moves. I take a step closer, camera on, and say, "I need all of you to leave. Now." Karen's face shifts from sugar to steel. "No need to get upset," she says. "We're all neighbors trying to improve the community. Surely you understand." Behind her, Dale, the treasurer, pipes up. "Actually, we've been here about 2 hours already, got a lot of work done. Would be disruptive to relocate now. They've got paperwork spread out, laptops, the whole 9 yards. They even moved my dining table closer to the living room for their impromptu conference. The audacity is Olympic level." Now a woman with gray hair, secretary scarf, can't remember her name, chimes in, "Oh, trespassing is such a dramatic word. The HOA covenants say board members can use resources as needed for official business." She whips out her phone, scrolling to some bylaw and reading off section 12, which apparently gives her the keys to my kingdom. I've had it. I raise my phone higher, voice shaking now. This isn't community property. This is my private home, and I'm filming this. Leave now. The room changes. Some people back up, but Karen gets even colder. "Recording us without consent could be considered harassment," she says, hand going to her phone. "Might be time to call the authorities." Dale's already dialing. "They're calling the police on me in my own house. I can't even make this up." Karen's rattling off my address, telling the dispatcher there's an aggressive man threatening community volunteers. I see the board cluster behind her, acting scared like I'm the villain in their little drama. Dale's clutching his paperwork. The secretary's looking like she's about to faint, and Karen's just soaking it all in. Sirens wail outside 12 minutes later. Karen's mask flickers, but by the time red and blue lights flash through the window, she's back in victim mode, dabbing her eyes, rehearsing her story. Cops walk in, older guy, younger woman, And immediately Karen steps forward, voice trembling. Thank goodness you're here. He's been so agitated, making threats, filming us without permission. I try to explain my house, my stuff, my key, my rules. I show the wine, the mess, the dining table in the wrong spot, the missing food. But Karen's got paperwork and confidence, and she's waving official-looking documents at the officers. They seem to be buying it. One officer tells me to put my phone away. Complainants say you've been harassing them, sir. We'll sort this out, but you need to step back. My whole reality flips inside out. The paperwork, Karen's story, it's like they rehearsed it. Dale even adds, we offered to include him, but he escalated. We felt unsafe. The secretary goes all out. We've never experienced this before. Hostility toward community business undermines neighborhood harmony. They pile on painting me as unstable, aggressive, dangerous. When the handcuffs snap on my wrists, it's like I've left my own body. Sir, you're under arrest for disturbing the peace and making threats against community officials, the officer says. Karen sighs with relief. I see her out of the corner of my eyeglass, raised in what looks a lot like a toast. They lead me out, and the board just settles back into their meeting like nothing happened. The booking cell at the precinct smells like disappointment and bleach. 3 hours later, my lawyer bails me out, and I'm back in my car driving through streets that look exactly the same but feel completely alien. Next morning, the phone rings. Is this the guy who threatened the HOA board? Click. 6 more calls before noon, each nastier than the last. On the neighborhood forum, Karen posts an official statement painting herself as the hero who bravely endured my threatening outburst. Within hours, I'm the pariah. I try to comment to defend myself. Account's been restricted pending legal resolution, they say. Karen's accusation gets me arrested. The arrest silences my voice, and my silence proves her case. Perfect, right? But then light bulb. I remember the porch security camera I'd installed after some packages got stolen. I dig through the footage. There's Karen, purse in hand, producing the key, glancing around, letting herself in. Over the next hour, board members just stroll up like they've done this before. The video is clear time-stamped, except the mic's busted, so I can't prove she didn't call me first. It's not a smoking gun, but it's something. I start looking for more. In the guest bathroom, I find a silver earring, and wedged behind the toilet, a piece of notebook paper. Mom says we can swim here whenever HA meeting happens. Stick figures swimming in my backyard. Signed Emma M. Karen's daughter. So it's not just trespassing. This is ongoing, premeditated, entitled. I start digging through old security footage. I find them using my pool, having barbecues, rearranging my patio furniture, coming and going 17 times in 6 months, always with the emergency key. I call the maintenance company that holds the key. After a little nudging, they admit 17 entries logged by the HOA, none for actual emergencies, none with my permission. That's a lawsuit waiting to happen, the manager says. I request all the records. Meanwhile, I research the HOA bylaws. Karen's waving around Section 12 like a shield, but it's for common areas, not private homes. Private property needs written notice and documented consent. There's even a clause misusing HOA authority equals immediate removal and potential legal action. Armed with all this, I build my case. Video evidence, maintenance logs, the crayon note, proof of zero contact. Every entry matches an alarm deactivation. Karen knew exactly how to bypass my security. This isn't just trespass, it's systematic, calculated criminal. Just as I'm ready to file a criminal complaint, a process server finds me in the grocery store parking lot. Are you the defendant in Mitchell versus homeowner for harassment and defamation? Karen's suing me for emotional distress, invasion of privacy, defamation, and a restraining order to keep me away from HOA meetings. $50,000 in damages plus removal of all my security cameras. She's doubling down. But here's the kicker: by suing me, Karen opens herself up to discovery. Now I can subpoena her, get documents, put her under oath, force the truth into daylight. My lawyer Patricia grins when she sees my stack of evidence. This isn't just defense, she says. This is a countersuit waiting to happen. We file. Criminal trespass, abuse of office, conspiracy, malicious prosecution, the works. HOA suspends Karen as president within 48 hours. But Karen fires up the rumor mill, blasting emails to my boss, calling me dangerous and unstable, trying to get me fired. That's witness intimidation and harassment. Patricia files for emergency sanctions and pushes our complaint to the state attorney general. But the biggest stage is still ahead. The next HOA meeting is open to public comment. I show up with my laptop evidence in hand. The room is packed, neighbors board Karen front row with her pearl necklace tight around her neck. I plug in, show the security footage, Karen letting herself in, timestamps matching the key logs. I put up the maintenance logs, my phone records, Emma's crayon note. The room goes from murmurs to outrage. Karen tries to interrupt, but the evidence is right there up on the screen for everyone to see. Within a week, Karen resigns all positions. Criminal charges pending. Maintenance company ditches the HOA new security rules in place. My charges dropped with a public apology from the DA. Karen's lawsuit collapses. Her lawyer bails. HOA pays my legal fees, and the board institutes transparency and oversight rules so nobody can pull this again. 6 months later, the house is quiet, finally feels like mine again. Karen moved states, good riddance. The new board is all about boring budgets, not personal fiefdoms, and property values have actually gone up since the great exposure. I never got an apology from Karen, but I don't need it. Sometimes the best revenge is letting the truth breathe out in public for everyone to see. So tell me, what would you have done in my shoes? Ever had your own Karen moment? Or run in with an out-of-control HOA? Drop your wildest story or your take on justice in the comments below. And don't forget, hit subscribe for more chaos, laughter, and tales that make you appreciate boring neighbors just a little bit more.